So yesterday we had a storm come through and the tree came down in my yard. So today on the Budget Outdoorsman, we're going to use this as a real world test to compare 4 battery chainsaws. We're going to try the Milwaukee, the Ryobi, the DeWalt, and the Black+Decker. And we're going to see which one cuts fastest, which one handles the wood the best, and which one is the best option if you're on a budget. This tree that came down here, it's got a good number of sizes to it. It's got everything from a couple inches to, around 4, 5, 6 inches, all the way up to about 10 to 12 inches towards the top there. So we've got a lot of great material. I think it'll give the saws a great workout. Let's give them a try. So let me break down how I think they perform. So starting with the Milwaukee, this is a powerhouse. You can just feel it when you pick it up. It is solid. The materials are fantastic that they make it with. It runs very fast, and it's super sturdy. I found it to cut quite quickly. I think probably if the chain that's on here, probably if that was sharpened a little bit, it'd cut even faster. I felt like it was underperforming for the rate that it was going. But overall, I would say this definitely is top of the line between build, how fast it is, how durable it is. So the Milwaukee is really the heavyweight because of this M18 fuel pairing system. So basically what that is, it's an 18-volt nominal battery system, which is more powerful than the 20-volt Black+Decker, the 20-volt DeWalt. One, because Milwaukee actually gives our nominal battery usage, whereas Black+Decker, for example, gives 20 volt as the max voltage. So Milwaukee's being a little bit more realistic.
But essentially, the 18-volt battery is a high output battery combined with a high density brushless motor. And so this combined allows it to pull way more amps than just a standard battery would. So that gives it the torque of many times like a gas-powered saw, and really is what makes it so high class.
Now, the downside to the Milwaukee, if you can call it downside, is that it is going to be the most expensive option here. But you get what you pay for when it comes to the Milwaukee. The second one, the Ryobi, this one really underperformed for me, but I think it was an issue with either me or something going on with the machine itself that was causing some issues. I think that if it had functioned continuously at the rate that it was going, it would have performed very, very well. But because we were having some issues, it didn't perform quite as well, didn't cut quite as well. We kept having to stop. I kept having to try to rework the bar and some different things. But I still think this is a great option. Again, based on the rate that it was going, the feel of it, it is a great product. So definitely would highly recommend it. And it really would financially be kind of the step down from the Milwaukee and be kind of a middle ground area. So the Ryobi is still a great option. To the DeWalt. I was very pleasantly surprised with the DeWalt. Now, it is a sturdy, it's very sturdy for the size that it is. It ran very well. In fact, it ran really smooth. It cut very well, honestly better than I thought it would for, I believe this has a 10-inch bar on it. And it cut through that 8 to 10-inch section there actually pretty easily for a battery-powered chainsaw.
I think really what makes the DeWalt so fantastic is their XR brushless technology here. So it's really all about the electronic communication. The battery and the motor are constantly talking. So when the saw hits like a tough knot, the sensors actually tell the battery to dump more current, which then helps maintain the chain speed even under a load. So it's a great feature.
DeWalt is going to be kind of a middle ground area as far as the cost goes. So the DeWalt is definitely a great option and monetarily pretty decent as well. For the Black+Decker, this is the lightest of all of them. It is quite light. It is the least powerful. However, for the price point, which it is the cheapest of all of these, for the price point, it actually performs pretty well. It cut through that 8 to 10-inch section better than I thought it would. I thought it was going to struggle more, and it did struggle a little bit. But for what it is, it actually worked really well. And I've actually had quite a bit of use out of the Black+Decker particularly, and I have been pleasantly surprised with how well it's performed, all things considered, for the price that it is, for the quality of build that it has. So the Black+Decker is really something to pay attention to if you're wanting to get something that functions pretty well. Maybe you're not using it all the time, it's just kind of for odds and ends. So this is definitely going to be a great option as well, so check that out. Another factor with these different saws is going to be the life of the battery. And so different ones with the different quality of machines are going to handle battery life a little bit better. For example, the Black+Decker battery does okay, but it might last, if you're just using it continuously, it might last anywhere from around 15 to 20 minutes, maybe. That's kind of off the top of my head. Some of these other batteries traditionally are going to last longer. The Milwaukee, the DeWalt in particular, Ryobi, I think, generally does pretty well also. So that's another factor to keep in mind when you're buying it. If you want, if you have the capacity to get multiple batteries, that's great. You can get some off-brand batteries that work pretty well. But that's another factor to keep in mind when you're getting the machine is not only how good does the machine run itself, but how good is the battery that's helping facilitate that machine. And so each of those can play a part into the process. So which saw is best for you? Well, it really depends. So there's a couple things that I would mention. One is what's your budget, right? So if you really just have a very minimal budget, but you want to be able to clear brush, you want to be able to keep something in your truck, frankly, I'm going to recommend the Black+Decker. While it is the cheapest one, while it's the lightest one, it gets the job done for a pretty low cost, and I'm pretty impressed with it. If you really want something that is going to be really powerful, handle some bigger stuff, and you also have a bigger budget, then I'm gonna recommend the Milwaukee. It is by far the sturdiest one of them all. It functions the best. It's the most powerful. Milwaukee did a great job with this saw, so that would be the one that I would recommend. If you're wanting kind of a middle ground between the two, really I would put the DeWalt and the Ryobi kind of in those middle grounds. Again, I know I had some issues with the Ryobi. I was having some issues with the bar. I'm not sure if the oil was feeding correctly into it. And again, I'm not sure how much that was an issue for the saw or if it was user error. But the DeWalt functions super well. But again, they're at this kind of mid-range price point, particularly if you do like a 20 volt for both. This is a 40 volt Ryobi, so that combo with the 40 volt batteries is going to be costing a little more. I'll have a link in the description for actually all of these are ones very similar to these that you can find. But these are going to be kind of middle cost areas. So if you want kind of that middle ground between, cost, reliability, durability, solid build, some of those different factors, probably you're going to be kind of in this Ryobi DeWalt range, and those might be a really good fit for you. So if you're somebody who's a hunter, if you're camping, and again, you just want something along that can clear brush, they can cut down the small trees, cut up wood for your campfire, these are all going to work really well, and depending on where your budget is, I'm confident one of these could fit with where you're at. So if this video has been helpful for you, like and subscribe. Let me know what saw you like the most, or maybe if you have one, the things that you like about it. And I'd love to hear. We can learn together as a community. I'm the Budget Outdoorsman. Let's do it together.